Well, this is official blog entry number 2. I'm sitting in the upper room, which I find hilarious because it's not actually in the upper room, it's in the basement of my church. But it is a fairly wonderful little room. I love it a lot. I'd show you around, but that would be a little weird. And I don't know, we just got done with worship. I'm sticking around here today because my friend Angela has a meeting with her mentor, actually just across the hallway. But I had this whole thing that I wanted to say, and then I lost it somewhere between, getting down here and setting up or whatever it is that I did. But if you look at this, that's what it was. If you look at this lamp, if you're in the room with me, it is not nearly as bright as it looks. It's actually one of the dimmest things in here. And then if you look at it on the camera, which obviously it's the only way that you can look at it, it's like this gigantic square of light, which, I don't know, I find that very interesting. Ironically enough, that moment is exactly what I wanted to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about ADD Christianity. I think interns and really believers anywhere and everywhere have this mentality where we start out in these sort of we start out our day with kind of this ADD sort of sporadic faith. We'll wake up and we'll be like, maybe we'll be this cheerful in the morning. Ironically, I'm not usually very cheerful in the morning. You don't normally want to see me in the morning. I want to kill people. People have tried waking me up and they've found themselves being threatened with knives. So the fact that I was smiling all morning was probably very strange. But nevertheless, we might wake up in the morning and be like, Lord, for those of us who really made a practice of not letting our feet hit the floor before we said a prayer, I used to do that. And somewhere along there I got grumpy. But we're like, Lord, I just want to serve you. I want to show me something new today. Show me this. I want to get to know you better. Stuff like that. We kind of throw out this fairly ambiguous prayer, trying to get a hold of, trying to reorient our day towards God. And when we say it, we are totally serious. It is 100% legit. There's no, we're trying to con God into thinking that we're Christians today as opposed to yesterday. But somewhere between that moment and your shower, something happens. I don't know what. We can have these great God moments like during chapel or during encounter or line up for GE or whatever it is that you do. Any point in time where we have worship, it's like, this is a great moment. We're loving this. God is awesome. We are worshiping our hearts out to the point where some of us actually might collapse out of exhaustion as opposed to like holiness or reverence or something. And this is a great moment that we are experiencing the Holy Spirit. But it's not going to take very much for us to go like, oh, hey, look, that's cool. For those of us who are in the world, it's a lot easier to do that. And when I say in the world, I mean not at the Honor Academy. This is the upper room. It's an awesome little room. It's the coolest looking room in the church. Nothing else in the church looks nearly this cool. But this is not the Honor Academy. The Honor Academy doesn't have rooms like this. The Honor Academy, actually, that's totally false. It has lots of rooms like this. But the Honor Academy is in a bubble, so to speak. Teen Mania campus is its own little universe. You have no need for anything other than mail. Every once in a while we need to go out and get stuff from Walmart, but that's about it. Here, I walk out of this room and I can guarantee you I'm going to get confronted with somebody who isn't lost in the awesomeness of God. Or if I walk out of these doors, there's 2,500 people out there who probably have never even heard of the gospel, which is mind-blowing if you think about it. And so here it's a lot easier to just go home, flip on the television, which actually I don't have one, you can flip on the television or go on Facebook or something, and then like flashy things pop up everywhere, and we're like, oh my goodness, look at that, that's awesome. Even though it's actually really not, because it's been around forever, and I don't know. But, we're guys, and hop on Facebook, and somebody posts a picture of a car, and okay, other guys do this. I don't do this. I don't get cars. It's like, oh, it's just a nice car. No, TC, it's a Focus. Okay, whatever. If you saw my car, you completely understand. I drive a 1991 Cadillac DeVille, which people drool over. I don't understand it. It's a horrible looking car. It's this dumb blue color that's missing. It has some major cosmetic issues. And people are still like, oh my goodness, I love your car. I'm like, try driving it for a week and then we'll talk. But we get really distracted. And even in this last 5 minutes and 48 seconds, I have gotten distracted 10 billion times. I exaggerate for those of you who like your specificity. I exaggerate a little on things like how many times I say something. And then again, it's probably 5,000,000,001 times that I've gotten distracted. I like how I get distracted while getting distracted. Like I get distracted about being distracted, so I'm even further more distracted. And see, this is exactly what happens. We're going to stop that now. Anyway, we have this tendency to just get swept away by the flashy things, by the cool things. Something walks up and it's pretty, or something we drive by and we notice and has big bright blue colors or big bright red colors. I can speak English, I promise. Or even as Christians, it's even more ridiculous because sometimes we don't get distracted by television shows. We don't get distracted by new clothing. We don't get like that, but we might get distracted by, oh my goodness, look at this Bible. I've caught myself doing this a couple times. I have a Bible, not right here, but I'm just going to pretend. It's about this big. It's an NLT, and I like it a lot. I hate the NLT in general, but I like this Bible because of the inserts that it has. It once upon a time was very applicable to my life. I am a avid lover of the NASB and ESV versions of the Bible, which this is not, so I can barely ever use this thing for study because it's like, okay, I guarantee you that John did not use the phrase decked out. I guarantee it. Now, it's not the Message. It is not the Message. I will, to my dying day, never use the Message, except to prove why the Message is wrong. If I've offended you, go read Psalms 25, verse 10 in the Message. And then I want you to go read it in any other version, like KJV, NKJV, NIV, NLT, ESV, NASB, anything. And then go read it in the Message. In any other translation, it says, all of the ways of God are loving kindness or loving, something like that. And then in the ESV, it says, in the Message, it says, from now on, all paths that you take will take you to God. Completely contradicts the phrase, I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father except through me. So, not so much. Anyway, my tirade about the Message translations are done. I have this Bible, and it's cool looking. It's kind of got this like faux leather thing going on. It's got like a little design on it. It's pretty awesome. I like it. And I was at church, still am at church. I was in a Sunday school class that I take. And there's this guy there, and he has this like espresso brown Bible, in which case I'm already in love. And instead of it just being an espresso brown Bible, which might be enough to do it for me, but no, it's got the crown of thorns etched into the leather. And it's ESV, and I'm like, I'm in love, I want this Bible. But why? That particular version of the Bible is, you probably can't hear me. That version of the Bible, that Bible itself, is absolutely no different than this Bible. This Bible looks significantly less pretty. It's paperback, it's white and blue, but it's an ESV. If you notice, ESV. It's an ESV, and there is no difference between his Bible and this Bible except for his costs more, and his looks prettier. And so sometimes Christians can get really super distracted by things like that. We get super distracted by like, oh my goodness, look at this NOTW t-shirt. Or, oh my goodness, I have my ATF hoodie now, which I don't have my ATF hoodie anymore. I lost it. I miss it a lot. but somehow we get distracted by Christian stuff, which is solely designed to be an expression of our faith. But no, it's become our own distraction. It is the thing that we covet. Oh my goodness, I have to have this NOTW hoodie. I have to have this ATF sweatshirt. I have to have this witness wear apparel. I have to have these shoes. I have to have this Bible case. Oh my goodness, look at this tablet covering that I can put on. We get distracted by such little stuff. We get distracted by people. We get distracted by situations. You know, even at the Honor Academy, and I shouldn't say even, I say especially at the Honor Academy, because everything happens so much faster. I don't know if you guys have really ever thought about it, but if you really put some time and effort into realizing this, it'll blow your mind. One day feels like a week. And you don't actually have to put that much effort into it, I guarantee you. By just thinking about it for half a second, you're going to be like, yep. One day feels like a week. You feel like in 24 hours you have accomplished 7 days worth of things. By the end of a week, you feel as though it has been like a day. Like yesterday was Monday. No, tomorrow is Monday. Yesterday was Saturday, TC. And then by the end of a month, you're like, it's kind of weird because it feels like it's been 6 months after a week. A week can feel like both yesterday and 6 months. But then a month feels like yesterday. And then 2 months feels like a year. Time has almost no existence at the HA. And because of that, so much life happens in 24 hours. And if so much life happens in 24 hours, you can easily think and feel connected as if you have loved and known these people that you're with for your entire life, because after about 6 months you have. Time relativity, comparison. 6 months at the Honor Academy is 20 years in real life. And so with that, the people that you don't like, you're going to not like much harder. And the people that you do like, you're going to love much more. And any tension is going to be like 20,000 times bigger because everything happens faster at the Honor Academy. And so I guess what I really want to point out is that, ADD doesn't, you don't have to. And if I'm stepping on somebody with ADD's toes, I mean, look at me. I'm not exactly like I'm much better. But ADD doesn't have to be medicated with pills. ADD can be medicated with effort. And a lot of kids who have ADD realize that. Our spiritual ADD is the same way. We need to refocus. We need to put effort into the fact why we're at the Honor Academy. When we're not there, for those of us who have left and possibly might be coming back, and for the rest of the world, we really need to refocus. Christ is everything. Without Christ, we can all go home. If you're an intern, you're not doing anything. If you are not an intern, go ahead and live like a demon, because obviously Christ isn't existent. He didn't do anything, and therefore, there's really no reason for you to live by abstaining from things that somebody that doesn't exist did, which is flatly not the case. And we need to refocus on Christ, because without Christ, nothing means anything. But because of Christ, and because he does exist, and because he did come, and because he did die, and because he is the salvation, and he is the propitiation, which is a really big word for justifying us, making us okay, making us right with God legally. Because he does do that, because he is our advocate, saying, no, Father, stay your wrath. I have my blood and my righteousness is counted to this person. Because he does that, we cannot possibly expect to live anything else. We need to refocus on Christ. He is everything. Go to all the world, make disciples. We need to bring them truth. We need to bring truth to everyone, and then we need to start taking people who have accepted that truth. We need to start bringing them up, and then also be willing to let them go. We need to bring them up to a level that we are capable by the grace of God to bring them to, and then pass them off to somebody further. And if that means they surpass you, then that means they surpass you, but don't get mad at them. We need to be open to correction because we're not perfect. We need to be open to rebuke because we're not perfect, but we also need to love each other enough to do it the right way. Walking up to someone and screaming integrity in their face because they walked on the grass is not the right way. Walking up to two people that you see talking